In this video, we're going to look at editing the sidebar of your Google site that you already have created. So to do that, you'll need to be logged into your Google site and then head straight over under the More button. Click on the More button and then go down to Manage Site. This is a familiar place. If you really get into Google Sites, you'll be coming here often to the More and then Manage Site. And then as soon as it brings it up for you, let's head over to the Site Layout. Site Layout on the left-hand side, and let's click on that. Alright, let's come up here and look at what we have. We have a sidebar section here. There's a couple things we can do with it. We can edit it or delete it. Let's click on Edit. And we can change the title of that sidebar item, but right now we don't have it checked. See? There it's checked, and then we would see this title, but if we don't want to see the title, you just uncheck it. You can also look at how many levels you want to show on the left-hand side, and you can have it automatically organize it for you or not. You can always change these things later. So I'm not going to change anything right at this time, so let's just click Cancel. And now let's go down here and click on Add a Sidebar Item. Now what that will do for us, we have several choices of something that we can add to our sidebar. And in our case, our sidebar is on the left-hand side. Okay, here are our choices. AdSense, so if you wanted to possibly make some money, you can put ads on your website. We're not going to mess with that right now. Here's a navigation. Now what this does, you can add links to other items, and you can do just about anything with that. You can just add a text box, or if you wanted to have a little sidebar item that shows the recent activity on your site, that means someone has changed it, someone has done this or that. My recent activity, so it will list by user. You can put a little countdown. So let's say you have an event coming up, so you could put in a date and it'll count down the date, and those are kind of fun. Here's site owners. So if you wanted to list the people who have access and who are listed as owners of your site, you might want to put that in some instances. Or page authors, if you wanted to have a listing of that. So let's go ahead and add a navigation link or a navigation element to our sidebar. So when I click Add, it immediately puts it over here on the left side. Now you have to be careful which one you're editing. Here's a navigation bar. That one was already there. And we just added this one. And if you're not sure which one it is that you're editing, just come over here and click on Edit, and you can take a look at it and see what it is that it's showing. Okay, so I'm going to click Cancel again just for the moment. Now I do want to point out right away that you can always organize these as you wish. Let's say you decide that you want this new navigation bar or element on your sidebar to be at the top. You just click and drag it. Okay, so now I have it on top. And notice when I put my cursor over this, it changes. Okay, when I get up there, that tells me that I can move it. So I'm just going to click and drag and put it back. So you can definitely arrange these sidebar items as you wish. Just click and drag. So let's click on Edit, and then let's look at the various choices of things that we can do with this new navigation bar. Now I can add a page by clicking on Add Page. What this looks at is anything that's already on this website I can link to. And if I can't see it, I just click on the plus and I can link it to this page or that page. Or if you just made another page and can't quite see it, you can click on My Recent Changes. And what that will do is it'll show anything that you've just changed as far as a page. Sometimes you need to do that to look for your recent changes to be able to link to it. So I'll click Cancel. So we're not going to link it to a page right now, but let's just add some URLs. Let's say in this navigation window we want to put a couple links to websites. So by clicking on Add a URL, I now have to think about what text I want to display. So let's say I wanted to add the Weather Channel. So I'd type weather here. And then the address for the Weather Channel, I type in there. And then click OK. And now I have one link. Let's look at what that looks like. So I'm going to click OK. All right, and then I also have to click Save. Have to save our changes. And now I can look at my website by clicking on The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And now over here on the left side, I have a new navigation bar down here, a navigation element that has a link to weather. And notice I can see the title. But let's test this out. And by clicking on this weather link, it should go out, and it does, to weather.com. So we know our link works. You always want to check your links. So after we've checked the link, how do we get back there? Well, we go back. We can get here from the left-hand side, and since we're logged in, we can see the Edit Sidebar. So I'll click on Edit Sidebar. I can go back to this navigation. I'll click on Edit, and then here's my weather link. Let's add another link by clicking on Add URL. And text to display, I can say maybe this is a news link. And let's just put in there CNN.com, for instance. And I'll click OK. So now I have a weather and I have a news. Now if I wanted the news to be first and not the weather, with the news highlighted, I simply move over here to the right and I click on the arrow. And when I click the up arrow, it goes to the top. So that's how you can easily rearrange your navigation bar. Now this display title is still there, so I'm going to uncheck that, and then we won't see the word navigation. So I'll uncheck that. We have two links, and I'll click OK. We always have to click Save when we make these changes. Alright, and then the left-hand side, the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Let's go back and look at it. I'll scroll to the bottom. We have a news and we have a weather link. And notice the order that they're in, and also the word navigation is gone. Now let's look at what else we have going on over here. In this website, we have all these chapters. These are all separate pages. And notice the organization of them. We have chapter 1 here, then it goes 10. And it's listed that way. Here's 2, 3, 4. So we want to rearrange this, or maybe have some of them be indented in. So let's just talk about how we can organize these so we don't have this big long list, and we want to get them in the right order. So again, we come down to the Edit Sidebar when we're logged in. And now this is the first navigation bar. Remember the one we were just working on here? That's not the one we want to edit. We want to edit on this navigation bar. So I'm going to click on Edit. Now I don't see anything here because right now it says automatically organize it. So that's what's happened over there, is it's organized all of these things for us. And so I'm going to uncheck that. Okay? And by doing that, you see all these pages now. See, I'll scroll through this. There's the order. So first of all, as it goes from chapter 1 to chapter 10, let's go down here and look for chapter 2. There it is. Okay, and what I'm going to do by highlighting that, I'm going to click on the up arrow. And as I do this, see how it's sliding up? So now I'm right here. I'm going to keep going up. Okay, there's chapter 2. I want to get all the way to the top and put it just below chapter 1. So it takes a while here to get up there. And so now we have chapter 1 and the chapter 1 check, and chapter 2 and the chapter 2 check. So I'm going to repeat this process and get all my chapters in order. When I'm done, I have to click OK. I click Save. And now let's go look at our change that we just made. So now it says chapter 1 and chapter 2. So I'm going to repeat this process for all the other chapters. So now that I'm done, I have welcome, an author connection link, a calendar, and then here's all my chapters all in a row. Just the way I wanted them. But I had to manually click on those and move them up as I wanted them to be in the correct place in the correct order.